Ladies, them are running in. We're pulling weight, but we know the dream. Oh. We on point, oh boy. We're balling international. No time, baby. You got to know we are the guys.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm that original Niger chick. I make lifestyle straight talking videos and any other video that interests me, including food recipes, reviews and hauls. So today I'm going to tell you guys a story from my past, and this is actually a dating story. And of course I will be doing my makeup alongside because I don't know what to do with my hands. So I figure that okay, since I'm just going to step out for a bit, let me just do some look. I'm not a makeup artist. I don't even know how to do makeup, but if I do this consistently, I think maybe I'm going to be great at something. Who knows? So I've actually been looking at some makeup videos and how to do makeup, because I usually do not wear makeup in my day-to-day life. But let's go. So this is a dating story. I've already done my eyebrows. I've already gone ahead to do my eyebrows outside the camera, but this is like a fresh face. Not necessarily fresh, but it's clean. I've already cleaned my face. So what I'm going to do right now is just to moisturize it a bit. Moisturizer. I use a water-based moisturizer on my face, so it just melts into the skin. And some of the crazy stories I have are actually when I traveled. I rarely go out here in Nigeria, and fortunately for me, I didn't have lots of crazy moments here in Nigeria. It's when I traveled abroad that's when I experienced the craziest, and this is one of them. When I was a student, I used to live in a small town in Norway. This happened in Norway. I used to live in a small town, predominantly a student area, so everyone knew everyone. Of course, I was actively dating at that time. I used to go on dates, but dating people in the small town, you must have come across one of them one way or the other. Everyone kind of knows each other, sort of. So it was easy to know who to avoid and who not to avoid. Then I was using an app called Hot or Not. I think it has so many names. Right now I think it's called Bado, Hot or Not, and also I was using the Tinder app. These were the two apps I used the time I was dating online. I powdered my face first to set down my moisturizer. So I am not going to use a primer today. Why? Because my primer is quite expensive and I don't get money to replenish them. So what I do is that I use the primer on occasions and also on times when I know I want to look put together and I don't want to get oily after some time. So but this is just running errands, so that's why I'm going to do like a minimalistic makeup, but also I'm going to experiment with colors as well. If you don't like my makeup videos, I don't know, maybe you can skip it, or I don't know what you're going to do about it, because I need to do something with my hands. The apps were Tinder and Hot or Not or Badu, and because I was getting the same people every time, I had a lot of matches. Surprisingly, I did, because I thought I wouldn't, because I was different, but I had a lot of matches. So I was like, okay, let me date outside my county, and I set my settings to like places like Oslo, Trondheim, Bergen, those places. I made it that okay, it's covered the whole of Norway, that I'm going to meet people from these different parts. Now I met someone online. We started talking as usual, and I'm using Maybelline Fit Me for the inner corners of my face. just one pump. I'm using a damp beauty blender. Now for the outer part of my face, I'm using MAC Studio Fix in NC50. Just going to take a little, just a little. I don't want so much. I don't like cakey makeup, so I'm just going to use that same beauty blender and just put it just around my face. I have most of my breakouts outside my face, so I tend to use a much more fuller coverage, so at least it covers some spots. I really don't mind spots showing. That's why I'm human. I really don't like. Before, when I was a little younger, I used to dread the acne scars on my face. I actually used to hate this face, for real, for real. But now I've learned to embrace it because that's all I got. I mean, if I don't love it, who else is gonna love it? Yeah, just a minimal makeup. That's all. I don't go crazy with it. I love this makeup because it gives me like a natural look, like a very sheer coverage. It's not like, I don't like the heavy cakey makeup look. Yeah, so I met this guy and we got to talking. We were talking back and forth, and he seemed really nice. I liked him. In fact, even from his pictures, I liked him. Then when we started talking, I liked him. I liked his values. He said he was a Christian, and he not just basically, I don't look at people's religion, but he had some values that aligned with mine. So we were talking. In fact, the thing was going smoothly, and I told him, okay, because normally I don't like people coming to me if I have dates. For some reason, I have a fear that if they come to me, they already know where I live. So if something didn't go right, or if I meet crazies, I watch a lot of TV now, so I know that white people sometimes they worry them. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to date you, I'll go on like 2-3 dates with you first before I actually bring you to my place, or you come and know my place. So what I did was I go out there to meet this man, and I decided to go to Oslo. I think that was in the fall. I decided to go to Oslo. I had friends over there, so the plan was, if I go to Oslo to see my friends, I will then go to this man's place to see him. That was my personal plan. But when I told him that I'll be coming to us, it was like, oh, okay, the date we're supposed to go to, let's go. I said, okay, no wahala. He told me that there was this new restaurant that was going to be opening in Oslo. More or less like a high-end restaurant. Which woman don't like high-end restaurant? So I went. D-Day now, I packed some of my things because the plan was, have the date, then go to my friend's place, stay the weekend, and come back. This happened on a Friday. So on a Friday evening, I packed my clothes. I took the train down to Oslo. I went to my friend's place. I kept my stuff, and told her that by 8 o'clock I was going to go out on a date with someone. I told her that if she doesn't see me back by, let's say, 11-12, she should be worried because I won't be staying out late. I was that careful. So I went to see this guy, nice guy. We had really good dinner. It was all going well. Then he asked me if I was going back to where I was living. I was living in Hamad. If you're in Norway, you know Hamad. I was living there, and I told him no, that I wasn't going to go back, but I have a friend in Oslo that I can just crash at that place. On Sunday morning, I'll go back to Hamad. And he asked me where it was. I told him, and I was like, oh, that's the route to my place. I just got a new house. and then problem start. I for just jelly. Just after the awesome time I had, I would have just carried myself and go to my friend's house. But I didn't. I had new house. I've already started liking this guy. So, my dear, I follow go house now. So, I went to his house. Nice house. You know, in my head, I was already planning how I will, because the house was barely new. There was no decor. There was nothing in the house. It just had a few chairs, and the patio was very, very lovely. He planted some flowers because he said he's a naturist. He had the most beautiful garden I've ever seen. It's like the house. Let me describe it to you guys. The house is an apartment, but outside the patio was so big that you can even do small gardening inside. So he had like these flower pots where he was gardening, where he planted some flowers. So that was where we stayed. He brought out some wine, you know. This is Maybelline Fit Me concealer. So he brought out wine and we just started gisting. He told me how he was running his own business, gave me some of the products that he made, because he made a product. I won't say the product out here for privacy. It's actually a well-known product that people use. So he was quite a successful guy. So I was already swooning. I was like, hey, this kind of luck where I get meet this kind of man, you know. I'm going to do a little bit of contour with LA Girl Pro Concealer. So I just put a little bit on my nose. On my nose. Just small. Here. Here. So we were just gisting, and I got carried away. It was like we were gisting till like, when I checked the time after the dinner and everything, was like going to past 12. So, and the tram at that time closes quite early. It closes around, let's say 1, and reopens at about 6 o'clock in the morning. So he said I should sleep over. I said no, that I didn't plan to spend the night. I'd already told my friend that I was coming home. I was coming to see her. So he then offered to drive me, that I could stay some time and let's finish the wine and, you know, catch up, and, you know, just since we're enjoying ourselves so far. I said okay. Since he's going to drive me, I quickly called my friend and told her that I will be coming in very late. You know, she now told me that she was going to Norway. Is a relatively safe country. You can practically leave your doors unlocked and you'll be rest assured that no one will come into your house. So that was what happened. She told me she was going to leave the doors open for me. Now fast forward to like 2:30. I was already feeling sleepy. I wanted to go. I told Mr. Man, guy, hey, time don't reach you. I want to go home. This man got up, collected his he got up. He was like, okay, let's go. Collected his car keys in his pocket or something. No, he was just fidgeting. He got up, collected his car. I heard him collect his car keys, but at some point he was just fidgeting. I'm using this brown from my eyeshadow palette to set my contour. So he collected, he was just fidgeting. I heard him collect his car keys. I was getting ready to go. I stood up, started wearing my clothes. Now it was towards fall, so I had layers of clothes. I had like a shawl. I had a shawl and I wore like a big outer jacket with the clothes I wore, of course. So I was in the midst of wearing my shawl when it was like, hey, I can't find my cards. I said, cards? Which card? He said, I can't find my bank cards. I said, I look for it now. Check, have you? I said, okay, check your pockets. He checked his pockets. Me, I started helping him look for it now. I said, did you bring it up? Because I saw him actually pay with it. He was the one that paid for the dinner. So there was no doubt that he brought it out. He did bring it out. And me now, I was like, okay, check in your pockets. We both checked the pockets. Nothing was there. Then the man now said, all of a sudden he said, where are you from again? I said, okay. Where is this one going to now? He said, you're Nigerian, right? I said, yes. And he said, I've heard a lot about you people. You people are scammers, you people are thieves. I was shocked. I said, what is this one again? I was very speechless because this is the man that sounded so nice that I was even already buying wedding gown in my head safe that, hey, I'm going to marry this man. This man just turned like that too. I said, I've heard your people are scammers, I've heard your people are thieves. Where is my cards? If you don't provide my cards, I'm going to make sure that I call the cops on you and you're going to provide the... It just turned 360. Me, I was speechless. I was like, this was like 2:30 to 3 in the morning. I was like, ha. I don't have your cards, so I don't understand what you're talking about. One thing led to the other. I became angry. I said, I beg, if you're going to insult me, let me just go out of your place, because I saw that it was fuming. The anger was becoming too much. So I decided to just pack my stuff and, start running away. The man said I was not going anywhere. I locked the door. Hey, I said, waiting me this one. What is this one now? Locked the door. I wanted to start screaming, but I told myself not to scream. Let me see. Something just held me back. I was like, let me not scream. Let me see what... Because I looked at the man. He was quite skinny and tall. I was like, what about that? We go fight. He locked the door. And he was like, you must provide my cards. He took my handbag, emptied the stuff inside my handbag, and was searching for his card. He found my card. He took my card away from me. I was like, no, you can't do that to me. Can I have my card? Can I have my card? So as we were struggling I was struggling to take my card from him. I then pushed him. He fell on the chair, and he was like, oh, okay, for sure, you're going to jail. He called the police on me. That morning, sorry, he called the police. The police came, police came. Asked me what was happening. Let me confess. I told them that, see, this is what happened. We went on a date. We decided to just chill. When I told him I was going, he was looking for his car keys and he couldn't find his bank cards. So he started accusing me that I was with his bank card. And I told the police that, see, search me. I'm not with anything. The police was like, no, we both of us need to. The man was like, no, I was with it. So it became my word against his. So what the police did was they took us to the police station and asked us to write a statement. Go there. Remember, me then had not started speaking the language. Now I speak Norwegian, but then I had not started speaking the language. I didn't understand what they were saying. So he was just conversing in his language, talking to them. I was just quiet. I was listening. Then the policeman there looked at me and he felt a bit sorry for me. I was like, he said, the statement he said was, you came to his house after a date and at some point in the night you guys started drinking and he lost his money. Listen, he lost his debt, he lost his bank cards, and he lost some jewelries. These were the things. I said, well, only thing was that he took his car keys and wanted to go drop me where my friend was, but at the but he told me he just couldn't find his bank card. So I didn't hear any story about, I don't know anything about no wallet, or it was like, so the man offered to take me to my friend's house. The policeman, he said we can come back the next day, which is in the morning by 12 o'clock. Give us an appointment to go home and come back by 12 o'clock the next day, which was a Saturday. Please. But I then remember that I forgot my shawl in the man's house. So the police then said three of us can go together while I pick what belongs to me, my shawl. When we got there, remember this man had already had few glasses of wine. So he was now saying, oh, okay, he had already had full glasses of wine. So as we were going now, on our way now, the man now told the police that he wanted to throw up, that he feels like throwing, that he doesn't feel too good. So the police stopped and he went, he threw up. They now took him away because we were both at the back of the car. They now took him in front of the car, asked if he was okay. He was okay. They knew that, okay. The policeman said I should just leave him, that he's just drunk, that he needed to go home and sleep. So I said, okay, let me go and take my show. Then from there, I go. So we're going upstairs. The policeman found, as we're going upstairs, guess what the policeman found on the floor? He found this man's bank cards with some footnotes, like some papers, some complimentary cards, and a ring on the floor. Okay, when he found those things on the floor, he now took the man aside and brought the man. Remember, called the man. The man was actually going upstairs, he was in front of us. And the man called him back and asked him in his language if this was what he was looking for. And the man said, oh yes. The man said, I found this stuff just by the foot of your stairs. This is maybe a small, just a lip color, not something. I'm going to use just one coat of this lip color, just to have a very light lip. I'm not setting my face. Remember that I'm not going to set my face because I've already set my moisturizer. I think if I set my face, it's become a bit cakey, so I just like to leave it this way. And like this makeup lasts. I have oily face, so the oils don't come out as much as it does when I don't use powder first. So that's a new trick, a new tip I learned. So yeah, this man then, as they wanted to give him those stuff, this man projectile vomited, but thankfully he faced this way, not in front of us. He faced the rail, so he vomited, and the vomit poured on the pavement. Then he just laid down, on that pavement, and the police was just kind of rubbing this. They came up to help him, kind of rubbing his back. When he was done throwing up, they took him into the room. He just there and there called himself up on the sofa, put a blanket, and slept off. I was like, what? This is weird. So I took my shawl, and the police was like, case settled. If I want to, I was like, the police was like, okay, what do you want? Where? Because I was asking him where to go from here. I was like, no, just leave him. Let me go back to my friend's house, and just relax and spend time, that night pondering what just happened. Fast forward the next day. Remember, we didn't need to make statements anymore. According to the police, we didn't need to push it anymore since we've seen the bank cards. This man called me in the morning. I picked. I didn't want to pick. Called me around, not in the morning, called me around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't want to pick. He said that he was sorry, that he blanked out, that he didn't know what happened, but he had some glimpse of what happened, you know, that he was sorry for accusing me of stealing his cards. I said, okay, I've heard. He said he wants to make it up to me. I said I'll think about it, and that was it. I didn't go back to him. I didn't. We just started on Facebook for some time, and the conversation started feeding because I wasn't giving him any more attention. As I found out, because why would he say my people? That means he had some prejudice against my people before then. I mean, if you know you had those kind of thoughts, why go out with a black Nigerian woman? Because I did not hide where I was from the onset. He knew I was Nigerian. He knew where I came from. So for him to like say people are scammers, I found that really, really offensive. So I didn't go back to him. There was no more dates for us, and that was how it ended. So that's how my Tinder dates, because I met him on Tinder. Yes, that's how my Tinder date took me to the police station and back. And after some time, I just cut off dating for a while. Then I waited for some time, and I was like, no, this one a bad luck. How come? The first guy I met, something happened. I'm going to tell you guys that story. It's not as bad as this one. That one was not bad, but this guy was just creepy. When I mean extra creepy. I'll tell you guys in the next, maybe in the next video or next week, because I plan to be doing this stuff like every week. Once a week, I just tell you, give you a snippet from my past. Alright guys, this is the final makeup look. I'll go to the mirror and see if I combed my hair very well. So this is the final makeup look. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys when next I post. Please don't forget to subscribe for more juicy stories, for more recipes. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends if you want to or if you have to. Thank you once again. Bye bye.